Hello, and welcome to the CNC Warehouse 2436 ATC router training video. I'll try to attempt to bring you up to speed on the machine so that when the machine arrives, you'll have some kind of idea of what the machine is about, some of its features, how to run the machine. Let's begin by looking at some of the features of the machine itself. This machine came equipped with an NK260 Weihong control valve panel. This panel is a perfect panel for this machine. It's simple, effective, accurate. We have nothing but praise from all the customers using it. We'll go more detail about its operation in a moment. Until then, let's look at some of the other features that the machine has. It has an MPG for remote movement of the gantry and spindle, X, Y, and Z axis. It comes with a chiller. The machine itself has two emergency stops, one on each side. It also has a dust hood. The dust hood is pneumatically controlled. The machine comes with a 6-rack linear tool changer utilizing ISO 30, ER16, and ER20 collets. One of the other things you'll notice is it uses a fixed calibration sensor. This is a ball screw drive, both X, Y, and Z. It has an automatic oiling machine that the control system will energize based on a time duration that the machine is actually running. It also comes with a safety for the pneumatic air pressure, regulators, and filters. High-wind square rails are normal for this machine. A water-cooled spindle with its release positioned with its release button that you can use. Leveling feet. And now the Weihong control panel. This control panel allows easy access to all functions of the machine. Loading files can be done either through a USB memory stick or through Ethernet. Overrides can be done via the panel without having to get back into G code, which helps a lot for the operator. It's a menu-driven system with the function keys 1 through 7, normal mode keys to the right in the white, spindle control, automatic, ready to run, jog, handle using your MPG, setting your reference point for auto homing the machine, your feature buttons, your alphabet and keyboard and motion move keys. So if you're moving the X and Y axis, it's simply moving these buttons. You can see the arrows. The 1 and the 9 are the Z, the Y, and the X. The 5 allows you to change the speed back and forth. To get your panel running, the first thing you're going to want to do is calibrate the machine and get it to its home position. So we're going to push the home button and then we're going to say back all reference. Solid-state homing switches provide for accurate, trouble-free home function for years. No mechanical switches to wear out. No constant readjustment. Once you've done that, we're going to go back into jog mode. And we can see that we have a bunch of keys along the bottom here. So of course the manual low speed as far as driving the X and Y axis and the Z axis around. Tool calibration, we'll get into that momentarily. Setting your G54, 55 or your coordinate system set points here, and then back to origin. If you set a G54 or 55 location, pressing this button will take it back to that location. For example, it's currently set, we're going to go into the second menu here, we're currently set at this coordinate at the G54. So by pressing that button, it's going to take us to that coordinate location. The menu buttons on the right allow you to change modes of the machine. We also have another menu along the top here. So currently we're in the main screen, which shows us our axis or coordinate system. We're at 0, 0, and 10 millimeters above the surface of Z, home. Our mechanical coordinates, our work coordinate system we're using currently. It shows our feed rate, our feed speed, which tool number is in the spindle currently, spindle speed, spindle rate. Some of our buttons are turned on. We can see our manual high speed, which is going to be our GOO or rapid move rate, is set at 10,000 millimeters per minute or 10 meters per minute. The low speed is set at 3,000 or 3 meters per minute. If we want to be able to move it just a slight increment one direction or another, we can also use these buttons along here, and it'll start using these two step features. So by using the user defined times 1, 10, and 100, you can move the machine small amounts. If we press this, the B key, it takes us to the simulation menu. You can simulate whatever project is currently in memory. We have to put it in auto mode, and then it'll change. It's changing tools. Change tool. Clear the screen. Go to the next menu, which is C. Allows us to view the G code that's inputted into the machine at the current moment. Also, while it's running, the arrow will start going down as it's progressing. If we go into the C menu, the equal sign menu, you can see what files have run in the past and how long it took to run the files. Our next key down goes into our work coordinate system. It's the A menu. We can go into the B menu, which is for setting up a centering. And then if you go into C menu, you can run your MDI code. MDI code allows you to execute a one-time function. Right now, they're set up for the different tools. If I was to press the execute button, it's going to do a tool change. It currently has tool number 6 in the holder. So we've ran an MDI. Our next button down is our file system, so we can load in files either again through the USB or through the Ethernet. So any type of G code that you want to run, it'll be there. We have some sub-menus as well. This loads the A menu is what's in memory of the controller. The B menu is what's in the USB drive. The C is for, again, the program wizard for doing circles. The program task menu shows again stuff that you have run and how long it took. If you go down to the next button down, it gets into the parameters of the machine. On a normal basis, you should never have to deal with that, but it does give you some capability of seeing some of the points that are in the system. Parameter backup, you can do a backup, you can look at your coordinate backup, and you can look at your tool offset for each of your 6 tools. On this menu, the system menu, you can see the actual points, you can see if they turn on or off. You can get into the errors and logs to show alarms, the system information, and here's where you would go in. Of course, if you're going to change your language, you can go in also and change your network information so that when you put it on your network, you can have that. You can set your IP address, and away you go. The bottom keys here are the auto, jog, handle, and reference, as mentioned before. Our feature keys being used. When you're prepared to run a G code, this is our user defined. Our feature keys, the ones being used currently, are the K1, which releases your tool, the same as pushing the button on the side of the machine. The second button down, K2, is for the dust hood. The oil button is used for the automatic oiling machine. If you want to provide an oil cycle prior to its defined value, you simply press that and it'll run the pump. In jog mode, I can raise and lower the spindle. I can move the gantry. Now going back to tool calibration, which is another feature you'll be using on a normal basis, is you would simply go to the tool calibration menu here, and then it is a fixed calibration point. So we'll push the, and when it says yes, we're simply going to press enter. And the calibration is complete. There is a feature on this machine that allows you to perform a tool change and then automatically calibrate the tool immediately following the tool change. It does take some extra time when doing a tool change, but at the same time, if you've changed one of your tools and forgot to tell the machine, you will not at least destroy something that you're working on. So if you've started a project and forgot that tool number 3 broke and you replaced it and forgot to recalibrate, that feature would be nice and handy. If that's not something you deal with regularly, then it does take extra time for it to do a tool change. The clear menu allows you to set your X, Y, and Z coordinates. For example, I'm going to go to our coordinate system and I'm going to change our work coordinate to G55. So I'll use our right arrow to highlight the G55 coordinate system, and I'll simply press select work coordinate system. Now I'm set up on this particular coordinates. If I want to change that location, I would go and put the spindle where I want it. Now I'll press the X and Y clear, and if I've lowered the spindle down to touch either my material or my workspace, I can press the Z clear, and now that G55 is completely set up. Hitting our back menu allows us to take back to the first one. Loading a file is quite simple. You want to go over down to your test file, load it, load your test file, go back to the beginning, put it in auto mode, and I'm going to go ahead and change it back to the G54 location because I'm not sure exactly where that's going to be otherwise. So we'll select that there. We're now reading G54. I'm going to go ahead and start the machine by doing a cycle start. If you'd like to move the spindle manually by using your MPG, simply place the handle button, turn it on, and you can rotate the X, Y, and Z axis separately by just twisting the dial. You can change the increments by rotating that dial so that this moves slower. Changing it to Y. The internal working components of the cabinet show the variable frequency drive or inverter that's being used for the spindle, this particular model as a delta. We have 3 delta servo drives. We have the panel, the control panel for the Weong system, a transformer, and below that are the contactors used for the machine. Fans, internal, provide cabinet cooling. Connections for the chiller are not polarity sensitive, so an in and an out, it does not matter. You just connect one to each side of the chiller. As you can see, you have an in and an out. The alarm output cable, it does not connect to anything on this chiller.